ranching community is definitely experiencing a decline.
Not really for the faint of heart, I guess. You gotta be able to dock your calves.
Fix a lot of fence.
Long rides, and it's big country. 1 year can either make it or break it. My name's Tyrell Bischoff. I work for E.O. Bischoff Ranch. My dad ran the ranch before me, and his uncle before him, and his great-grandpa before him, and so it's kind of been a family thing for a lot of years.
Access to probably better than half of our deeded mountain ground is very tough. You have to go through Devil's Canyon, which is like a 1,200-foot canyon. Very steep and nasty switchbacks. It's pretty tough to get a pickup in there even. Day-to-day operations just kind of start wearing on stuff. It's hard to make a living on such a rough country. There was financial issues with liens that got put against property for borrowing money to buy cows. Cattle prices just weren't great. When you're selling little 350-pound Hereford calves in the fall, they're not worth very much. And you'd get a couple bad winters and lose a bunch of cows in a bad storm or something. And
our ranch was getting ready to go under. Like, we were basically in bankruptcy, and we had the place for sale.
Was pretty sad to think that you were going to lose everything that those ancestors had worked for their whole lives.
My Aunt Pam worked with the NRCS, and they got this deal pushed through, and it made it so we could pay off all of our debt and have a little bit of money to get back on our feet. So it was kind of like a new beginning, just a whole new start.
I honestly have to say, if we didn't put a conservation easement on the ranch, we probably wouldn't own it anymore. I think that they're a good tool to keep some of these wilder lands wild and help to, keep houses from popping up everywhere. So when we put that conservation easement on, there was obviously like a list of rules.
There's got to be so much sage-grouse habitat, so much for mule deer. So that kind of inhibits our ability to graze it to its best potential, because you have to leave so much cover and stuff on a lot of that good grazing land, where you gotta try and do it to the best of your ability and ride as much as you can and keep those cows off those key areas, push back up on maybe some smaller patches of feed that are maybe not as desirable to them. The cows kind of do the same thing as the elk. Once weather starts happening, they start migrating too. And massive herds, like 1,500 head in a herd. It was just unreal. And so to me, that's just so cool. Yeah, they're like a school of fish almost, until you see them running towards one of your fence lines and you're like, no. Probably 5 years ago, my dad and I went and tore out a fence and just made it a 4-wire fence that was lower. The elk always would just decimate that fence. Every year it would just be destroyed. There's a great big trail that comes through there, and where that big trail came through, we put a huge 30-foot gate right there. We opened all the gates on that fence.
So the whole sheep project started probably in the early 90s.
So they came in and they transplanted sheep into this area. Brought some sheep out of Oregon, they brought some sheep out of the Missouri Breaks in Montana. And they have just thrived, and they have done really, really well. And a lot of times those ewes and lambs, they're living right on our irrigated fields probably 8 months out of the year. It's just kind of a little honey hole for them over there, you know.
Actually gotten to where they're overpopulated now.
We try and work with the game and fish.
We want every hunter to have their own designated week.
And let them go and, you know, hunt the whole ranch, have free reign of it, and try and find the best sheep they can, you know. I've seen nothing but the wildlife populations improve since my dad's been started working here.
Worked with my dad until 3 years ago, I guess. My dad got diagnosed with cancer, and so he went through treatments. He actually got better for a little while, and they found it in his brain. Started treatments and did that again, and it went away, and then it came right back. So I guess it kind of eased me into doing the day-to-day stuff without him, or figuring out how to do things differently, or having to make those decisions. But definitely didn't make losing him any easier.
Yeah, there's days that are really long and really tough,
but you can't really let those days ruin it for you, because if you're passionate enough about it, then you just move on and do what you have to do to get through it, and just, you know, keep the lifestyle going, I guess. The ranchers and the lessees of these properties are the ones that are taking care of the land, you know. They're the ones out there doing the waterline projects and the fencing projects, and, you know, cleaning up beer cans and stuff on the side of the road that recreators throw out, you know, because there's a lot of people that don't really care, but they just want to be able to go wherever they want. So I think that it's important to have, you know, those working lands.
A lot of the other entities, you know, they want to come and help do big projects or fix fence maybe, but, you know, a lot of like the cowboying end of the deal is kind of hard to find help with the riding and that kind of stuff. You know, there's gonna have to be somebody that's gonna want to step up and make sure that people keep being cowboys.